All right, what's going on, you guys? Nick here with Nick Strength and Power. So I'm going to go ahead and do an early top three Mr. Olympia prediction video for the 2017 Mr. Olympia. I'm sure as we get closer to the competition, I'll do an updated version and do a top six. But right now, we just don't know enough competitors that are actually competing to do a full top six prediction video. We know that Dallas McCarver has pulled out from competing, and who knows who else is going to pull out between now and September. So for my top three, let's compare to last year's top six. And look at the pool of guys that we're probably looking at for the top three. So last year, we had Rolly Winkler in sixth place, William Bonac in fifth, Big Ramy in fourth, Dexter Jackson in third, Shawn Rhoden in second, and Phil Heath in first. So let's start with my third place pick. So in third place, I have Big Ramy. I think he's going to move up a spot. I think Dexter Jackson, he's getting older every year. He's definitely not getting any younger. I think his physique has been good, even in his old age, for the past couple of years. But I think at a certain point, there's going to be a point of diminishing returns. And we're going to see Dexter Jackson start to look not as sharp, maybe not as big, and start to lose some of that really the bodybuilding appeal that Dexter had. I think it's going to start to fade, and I think this year will be the first year that we see it start to fade. I think he's 48 this year, so he's almost 50 years old. So I think this is the year that Big Ramy is going to push into that top three for sure, and I think he's going to do so by defeating Dexter Jackson. Now, I think Big Ramy has the potential to defeat my second place guy as well, but we'll get to that in a minute. So I've got Shawn Rhoden in second place. So Shawn Rhoden, just because of the sheer aesthetic quality of his physique. His physique is just beautiful, man. If you look at Shawn Rhoden's physique, his V taper is excellent. He's got the small waist. He's got the big upper body. I mean, everything about Shawn Rhoden. I mean, his conditioning is usually pretty good. He's been off, a couple years, but his conditioning for the most part is usually pretty good. So I have Shawn Rhoden kind of defending that second place spot for another year. And then I'm going to have Phil Heath going ahead and taking the crown yet again. Now, I know a lot of people don't like Phil Heath, but personally, I think he's one of the most complete bodybuilders to ever step on an Olympia stage. Whether or not you like his opinion, or whether or not you like his personality, some of the things he says, some of the things he does, you might not like him as a person. But in terms of being a bodybuilder, you got to put the bubble gut aside, because I think for the most part he's kind of fixed that. But if you're not considering the size of his gut, pretty much every body part this guy has is just complete, proportioned, conditioned, super full, super round muscle belly. Just everything about Phil is just dominant and complete. So in my opinion, with Big Ramy, I think the problem is going to be conditioning, and I think Phil and Shawn will do enough in terms of conditioning to probably knock Big Ramy off and keep Big Ramy at bay, at least for one more year. I think definitely in a couple of years in the future, when Big Ramy really nails down that conditioning, I think he's going to start winning the Olympia, and he's going to start becoming maybe an unbeatable Olympia winner. But I think it's going to take a couple of years for them to really figure out how to dial Ramy in the way that he needs to be. Because in past years, we've seen them do this with Big Ramy. Leading into the Olympia, everybody's all hyped up about Big Ramy because he's posting some off-season pictures where he's looking massive and huge, 350 pounds, 360 pounds, whatever they claim he is. Then everyone's all hyped going into the Olympia because Big Ramy's so massive. But the problem is he gets so massive in the off-season. When the competition time comes, his conditioning is it's just always off. So I think they've done that again this year from some of the videos that I've seen of Big Ramy and some of the pictures that I've seen of his off-season condition. He looks to be very big, very freaky, but I don't think that's a good thing for Big Ramy. He's always been big. He's always been freaky. I don't think he needs to get bigger and freakier. I think he starts to need to focus on conditioning. So I think that's going to be his problem, and that's probably what's going to keep him outside of the top two. So I think it's going to be between Shawn and Phil again, and I think Phil is miles ahead of Shawn, especially from the back, man. If you look at Shawn Rhoden's back, there's just no comparison between Shawn and Phil's back. Phil destroys him from behind. So I think Phil Heath is going to take this one again, and I think Phil Heath is going to be on his way to winning 8 Mr. Olympia competitions. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Who do you think is going to be in the top 3 at the 2017 Mr. Olympia? Please give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Nick Strength and Power, signing out.